Hello, everybody.
Personal information, so that indeed does remain private. It does not go out beyond the courtroom. So let's begin. Your full name, sir, I have is Tyrant Lamar Stucky. Is that correct?
Correct, ma'am.
All right, thank you. And your appearance, please, Mr. Etheridge.
Good afternoon, Honor Attorney Derek Esposito, Public Defender on behalf of Mr. Stucky. I'm appearing for arraignment purposes only. I'm appearing by video from the Office of the Public Defender. Mr. Stucky is appearing by video from the Lansing Police Department lockup.
All right, thank you. Sir, we have 4 files here. The first file is 25-00798FY. This is a complaint alleging on or about March 12th of 2025 in the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Tyrant Lamar Stucky. It is alleged, sir, that on or about March 12th of this year at Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan. Count 1 alleges that you did make an assault upon Kara Ann Gonzalez with a dangerous weapon, to wit, a handgun, but without intending to commit the crime of murder or to inflict great bodily harm less than the crime of murder. Sir, that is contrary to law. It is a felony, maximum penalty 4 years and or $2,000. DNA to be taken upon arrest. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under Michigan law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Count 2 alleges that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon Kara Ann Gonzalez, a resident or former resident of your household, and or an individual with whom you had a child in common, and or an individual with whom you had a dating relationship. Sir, that is also contrary to law, a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 93 days and or $500. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under Michigan law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. And count 3 alleges that you did carry or have in your possession a firearm, to wit, a handgun, at the time you committed or attempted to commit a felony, to wit, assault with a dangerous weapon or felonious assault. Contrary to law, that is a felony, sir. Maximum penalty 2 years consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction. Mandatory forfeiture of weapon or device. Do you understand the charges, sir, and the maximum penalties?
I kind of understand, but why wasn't I arrested for any of this? I haven't been contacted by no police until today. If this is a new charge.
I can't tell you that. I can tell you that the complaint was signed yesterday. No, not yesterday. It was signed Friday. So it didn't get entered into lien until that Friday. So
it was at my house yesterday, so I can't understand that.
I can't. I can only tell you that you're here today.
Thank you.
Now,
this is. That's why I kept saying this is something old. Now this is something you're saying new has been brought up. That this has just been made against me, and I have no knowledge of it. So,
Sir, you need to just listen so we can get through your arraignments on your charges. So you understand the charges and the maximum penalties. Is that correct?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
All right. Now, you do have rights, sir, and you were provided an advice of rights today, or you should have been. Did you receive that advice of rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you able to read it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you understand those rights, sir?
Ma'am.
All right. All right, then you also have other rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or write can be used against you, and you always have the right to have a lawyer present with you at any time that you are questioned. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then Mr. Etheridge, is he applying for an attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So the court will recognize you're applying for an attorney and you have 2 hearing dates. Sir, because this is a felony, you have a probable cause conference that is scheduled for Friday, March 28th. That is at 8:30 a.m. The second hearing is a preliminary exam that is scheduled for the following Friday, April 4th, also at 8:30 a.m. Both of the hearings are with Judge Kristen Simmons, and you do have to appear in person only. That is courtroom 4 on the 6th floor of City Hall. Do you have the notice, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Hang on to that. Have you ever failed to appear in court when ordered to do so?
No.
Okay. All right. So the next file we have is 25-00073SM. This is a complaint also alleging the people of the state of Michigan versus tyrant Lamar Stucky, alleging on or about October 11th of 2024 at the location of City of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan. The charge alleges that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon the following person: Caitlin Jeanette Whitty. That
I don't
is
even know who that
contrary to
is.
law.
I don't
Let me
even know who
finish,
that
sir.
is.
It doesn't help to interrupt. All right, contrary to law, that is a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 93 days and or $500. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under Michigan law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. So do you understand the charge and the maximum penalty?
I understand the charge, but keep my mouth
And
shut.
the maximum penalty? You understand the charge and maximum penalty, Mr. Stucky?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm indicating that you're applying for a court-appointed attorney. The court will enter a not guilty plea for you. And we have a pretrial date set. That will take place Monday, April 7th at 10:30 a.m. Also with Judge Simmons, and you do have to appear in person on that matter as well, in her courtroom on the 6th floor of City Hall.
Prefer to appear in person because that Zoom messes you up. If you get kicked off, then you're at fault. So I prefer to come in person.
Well, that's great. That's great because it's a lot easier, I think, when you see people in person. Okay, all right. So like I said, we'll get you an attorney on that charge as well. All right, we do have 2 other files, sir. This file is 24-00880SM. This is a motion affidavit and bench warrant on an unlicensed dog from an offense date of March 21st of 2024. The bench warrant issued on this because you failed to appear for an arraignment on April 30th of 2024. I've got a copy of the notice that was mailed on March 27th to the address that we talked about earlier that I don't want to go out on the internet, but it was mailed there. Did you get the notice, sir?
And I tried to do Zoom and I got kicked off of Zoom with the dog ticket thing. And then I got a second dog at large, and I got her contained where she couldn't escape anymore. So I accept the dog at large and the other one for the dog ticket because I did get kicked off of Zoom. But like I said, I'm not a trouble person. I haven't been in trouble. And if anything, I'm gonna address.
Okay, sir, too much information. All right, so he's applying for an attorney on both of these. Is that right, Mr. Etheridge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so the court's going to enter a not guilty plea. You're going to come back for that pretrial, and you can plead guilty at that point in front of the prosecutor. That's up to you. But at this point, this way you'll at least get a pretrial and able to explain what happened. It may make a difference. It may not. I don't know, but I'm not a prosecutor, so it's always worth trying at the pretrial to get them to understand. So your pretrial on this is April 7th 10:30 a.m. You are required to in person, which seems to work out better for you anyway. So you should have that notice, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, and the last file, which is 24-01126 SM, is just as you stated. It's a dog at large charge from April 11th of 2024, failing to appear for the arraignment on May 17th. I will indicate that you said you got kicked out of Zoom, so I'm going to arraign you on this matter. Ticket was issued April 11th, 2024, 4:15 p.m., Rio Road, City of Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan, for having a dog at large. That is a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 90 days and or a $500 fine. You understand that charge and maximum penalty?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Okay, we'll enter the not guilty plea on that as well. And good news is your appearance date on that is the same, April 7th at 10:30 a.m. with Judge Simmons. And just to be clear, I probably did not give you the penalty on the unlicensed dog, so let me do that. That ticket was March 21st, 2024, 7:01 p.m., also in the Rio Road location. An unlicensed dog has the same maximum penalty, sir, up to 90 days and or a $500 fine. So it's the same on both. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. All right, the only thing I have left is an unpaid parking ticket. So if you would address bond, please,
I only owe
Mr.
40 bucks
Etheridge.
on that parking ticket.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay,
And on
Your Honor, I had the opportunity to meet with Mr. Stucky before going on the record. He provided the following information for the court's consideration regarding bond. He advised me that the address he's staying at, the alleged victim, does not reside at that address. She resides with his mother. So none of the victims listed in either the felony or the misdemeanor reside at that address based on the information he's provided me. He's advised me that he is disabled, has limited income. He's on some public assistance. He has does own a house and a truck, but the truck is not paid off. So he does have to make truck payments and car insurance and pay utilities. He advised me he had no prior felonies. He does have some misdemeanors, very low-level misdemeanors, no juvenile record, no diversion or out-of-state convictions. He's provided the explanation of why he was not able to appear for the dog tickets the court has arraigned him on. He has ties to the community, it appears. He has family and friends in the community. At the time we were going over this, I didn't know the date of offenses. Based on the information that I did have that I provided him, he did not believe he was on any type of status at the time of these alleged incidents. He would ask the court to grant him a PR bond with the appropriate bond conditions. I did not get the chance to go over no contact provisions with him because he didn't want to talk with me further as I was going over stuff with him. But I'm sure that he will listen to the court when the court gives him the no contact provisions and will abide by any order the court gives him. So this time he's asking for a PR bond on all of his files. Thank you, Your Honor.
all right, thank you. All right, sir, so what the court does when reviewing these bonds, I'm going to look at your criminal history, I'm going to look at your ties in community, your employment status. I'm going to look at the allegations, recognizing that they are allegations and you have the presumption of innocence. We'll start with the two dog tickets. These are matters that certainly don't show any violence, any threats of violence. There's no concern on that. You do have some ties to the community. So the court on the dog at large, which is the 01126, it's going to be a $300 personal recognizance bond. So you don't have to post any money. You just have to make sure that you make all of your court appearances and that you do not violate any state or local laws while you're on bond. On the 00880, which is the unlicensed dog, same thing, $300 personal recognizance bond. You do not have to post any money. But again, you can't miss any of your court dates. You cannot violate any state or local laws while you are on bond. On the next charge, which is the assault and battery, the court, again, will look at your ties of community or employment status, looks at the allegations, and absolutely recognizing, sir, that you are presumed innocent, and if you're found guilty, it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. It appears that this individual may very well be an employee of a marijuana dispensary, which is perhaps why you don't know who that is. But that's the location of the court does. It does allege an assault upon this person.
Oh.
Don't say anything. You're just going to make it worse if you say anything.
When you just said that brought the thought to my mind. And no, that's not. I want to see her in court.
You don't want to say anything. So here you go. The bond on this is not going to be a PR. It's going to be a 10% bond to ensure her safety as well as your appearance. So the court's going to set the bond at a $3,000 10% bond. The conditions of your release are as follows. Do not miss any court dates and do not violate any state or local laws while you're on bond. You also are not to possess, purchase, or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a prescription, and you are not to leave the state of Michigan without permission from the court. You also cannot possess or purchase any firearms, ammunition, or dangerous weapons. If you have any of those items, they need to be removed from your access. Additionally, you're not to have any contact or any assaultive behavior towards Caitlin Jeanette Whitty. That means you cannot go to that location. You cannot call, right? Let me finish, sir. You cannot call, write, page, email, text, no electronic communications of any kind. You can't have anybody else contact her on your behalf, and there's to be no threatening, harassing, or molesting behavior towards her or anyone else, and you may not go within 2,000 feet of where she's located at any time, including work, home, or school. So I'm going to tell you, you can't go to that location. If you see her on the street, in a grocery store, whatever, you recognize her, then turn around and go the other way. Do not have any contact whatsoever with this individual. Do you understand what that means, Mr. Stucky?
Yes, ma'am, I do. But can I just ask you one question, ma'am? Because I have no family here other than my kids and Kara. So I asked this morning, the officers, could I bring money in case I get a bond? They told me don't bring money. Can I have till 5 o'clock to come back with the money? I got the money at home for my bond.
No, sir. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work
so
that way.
I can't get out then because I have no one. I have no one to get to that they screwed me.
Sir, we're not done yet. We got one more. Okay. All right. So when we're finished, you can talk to them about how to bond out. All right. So the next file we have, sir, is the other felony with the assault with a dangerous weapon, the domestic violence, and the weapons felony firearm charge. This is more complicated because it does involve alleged assaults with a weapon, as well as it being a person who you had children with or that you resided or had a dating relationship. And there's a third count of the felony firearm, which is allegedly using a firearm while committing a felonious assault. The court is very concerned for the safety of Ms. Gonzalez and is not going to grant you a PR bond, nor am I going to grant you a 10% bond, sir, because I don't find that that is sufficient to ensure we're not done. Not done. So your bond on this, sir, is a $50,000 cash surety bond, and this is done to ensure her safety as well as your appearance in court. So the conditions of your release today, Mr. Stucky, are do not miss any court dates, do not violate any state or local laws while you're on bond, and you are not to possess, purchase, or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a prescription. Sir, to ensure that you are free of alcohol and controlled substances, I'm ordering a 2-time random weekly PBT, as well as a 2-time random monthly ETG to make sure that you don't have any controlled substances in your system. Additionally, you cannot leave the state of Michigan without permission from the court, and you are not to possess or purchase any firearms, ammunition, or dangerous weapons. Also, since this is a felony, you will have to report to pretrial services, and that is to set up any pretrial supervision that may be necessary. Also, you cannot have any contact or assaultive behavior towards Kara Ann Gonzalez. That means you cannot call, write, page, email, text, no electronic communications of any kind, can't have anybody else contact her on your behalf, and there's to be no threatening, harassing, or molesting behavior towards her or anyone else, and you may not go within 2,000 feet of where she lives, works, or goes to school. Additionally, I am ordering a GPS tether with the 2,000-foot exclusion zone. So if you go into any area within 2,000 feet of where she lives, works, or goes to school, Lansing Police Department will be notified that you have entered the zone, as well as Ms. Gonzalez if possible. Absolutely no contact whatsoever. Do you understand those conditions, Mr. Stucky?
Ma'am, I understand.
All right, then anything else, Mr. Etheridge?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, you're all set, sir. That concludes your arraignment.
Yes, me.
Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.